This is a camper van that'll probably cost less than you think, and it's one which some of you have been asking for. I'm here in Cornwall at the biggest show in Cornwall, although it's not a campervan show, it is the Royal Cornwall Show. And over the next 24 hours, I'm going to be eating in it, I'm going to be living in it, sleeping in it, and might be getting blown away in it because they've forecast 50-mile-an-hour winds. And also, in the next 24 hours, I might be breaking a rule you should not break when you're in Cornwall. Find out what that is. But today, by the time we've finished today, I'm going to be giving you the good, the bad, and a lot of things that other people won't tell you about this campervan. Let's take a look. So this campervan is $66,995. Yes, that is a sale price because this is a 2025 model, but still brand new $72,995. So yes, so this is the Swift Trekker, the Trekker S. This vehicle does come in various different models. So you've got the S, you've got the X, you've got the XL. But this one which I'm talking about today is the smaller S model. It sits at 5.53 meters long. And I've got a very, very interesting fact on that, which I'll bring you when I've done the driving part of it. It's just over 2 meters wide. And as far as height's concerned, obviously with the pop top down, you're looking at just less than 3 meters. So pretty much any car park with a height barrier, you're not going to be able to get in because it is very tall. But from the outside, I love this van. I really do like the looks of it. It's a van which has become very, very popular over recent years. Ever since Swift brought this model out, it's become very popular with a lot of people. Coming down the side here, you've got these lovely graphics. NCC approved badge. Got the water filler in here. Coming around the back, you've got doors, which we'll go in a moment. You've got a barbecue point, which is really, really useful. So when you've got your Kadak, as long-term viewers will know, I love my Kadaks. Can pop that in there, have a barbecue outside. You've got your toilet cassette, so you can open that up, unlock it, pop that up, take your cassette out, ready for changing your waste. And then you've got your electric hookup. And that is going to be very, very important today. Up here, you've got your external shower point. So if you want a shower, you've been to the beach, you want to be washing down your dog or washing down yourself or whatever, you've got that external shower point there. Again, really useful for a camper van. And again, you can see from the outside here, just these graphics are fantastic. So up on the top, we've got an SCA pop top. Now, my plan was to actually sleep here tonight and sleep in that pop top, but with 50-mile-an-hour winds. To be quite honest with you, the show, they've just actually been around the show and they've told everybody that anybody with gazebos or awnings or anything like that, you're going to actually have to take them down. So I'm not going to be sleeping in the pop top, unfortunately. So I'm going to be down in the actual bottom of the bed. So coming into the back of the van, we've got these double opening doors, barn doors, wing doors, whatever you want to call them. I'm safe, I'm good there, I'm good there. Right, so we have the van set up in traveling mode, set up in day mode. This is the way you would have the bed set up. So it is a fixed bed, but it's not a fixed bed. It's a semi-fixed bed, maybe, that's what it is. But you've got these lovely storage areas. So in here, we've got cupboards, we've got drawers, lots of storage down this side. In here, we've got room, as you can see from the LPG there, this is where you put your gas bottles, and there's room in there for 2 6-kilogram bottles. And you can see in here we've just got some bits and pieces stored. Got more drawers over this side. There really is plenty of storage, including storage for the brackets for the bed, which I will show you in a little while. So one bracket's that side, one bracket's that side. You've got another cupboard here, but this cupboard is specifically for the ladders. So you've got a small ladder, which is a ladder to be getting into the downstairs bed. And then you've got a bigger ladder, and that ladder is for getting into the upstairs, the pop-top bed, which I won't be sleeping in, unfortunately. More cupboards, plenty of cupboard space. This one is a deceptively smaller cupboard than it looks. So you've got your switches for your water heater and your heater. In here, you can see you've got your Whale hot water system. and in here you've got more of your plumbing, your pipe work, and bits and pieces like that. So it's got hot water power, it's powered by gas and also electric. So when you're on site, if you're on hookup, then you can just plug in and you can be using the heater, hot water, etc. on the electric. And if you're off grid, and you've got your 2 gas bottles, we'll be able to power the heating from there. So it is a blown air heating system, and it's a heating system which I've used many times, never had any complaints on it, absolutely no problem with that. Just on the back doors here, one of the things I would change if it was my van, and it isn't actually a big change, I'd stick some windows in, opening windows, so you can have a bit of ventilation. But you've got some blinds. So you've got your blinds, so you can be keeping out, obviously, the light, because when you're sleeping, you don't want to be having light coming in. So yeah, so you've got blinds either side there. So let's get into the front of the vehicle. In fact, just above our head, you can see we've got the reversing camera there. Useful for a vehicle of this size, although it's not as big as you might think. Since we've been away, somebody's actually opened the door. So, sliding door opens up, and you've got a 240 volt socket here and a switch, and that switch will pop out this step, so you can actually step in, because NCC wise it has to be a certain height to make sure that you can get into the vehicle safely. Now, coming into here, so it's a 4-berth camper van, 4 berth and 4 travelling seats. So you've got your 2 front seats, 2 captain seats with the armrests, very comfy. This particular model is a 6-speed manual, and it's on the Ford platform, so it's the 6-speed manual, 165 horsepower it is. And I'll tell you a bit more about the driving capability when we get out in it and actually take it for a drive tomorrow. Yes, that's one of the surprises which I've got. But it's got the Ford Sync system, Sync 4 we're up to now, and it's all Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You can connect your phone to it. You've got all your DAB radio. It's just got all the mod cons of a modern driving vehicle. So the seat which I'm sat in now, so you can see we've got this dinette. So this is the dinette table, so you can sit 4 people around here. This table will extend, and then you've got the 2 seats here. You've got the 2 seats there, and then you can be sat here eating your meal. And I am rather hungry, so I'm going to pop out in a minute and get something to eat. And then here you've got a safari style opening window. This is a caravan manufacturer, a motorhome manufacturer. So you see a lot of the components, a lot of the things that are around the actual vehicle, you'll notice look very familiar as far as caravans are concerned. And yet these windows are just one of that. Storage again, plays a nice little tune, doesn't it? And then you've got some more storage here, and these little catches, which are, I quite like them. Pop open, and then you've got storage in here with a little lip, so things don't easily fall out once you've got the bits stored in there. Lovely lighting throughout. And then you've got another storage area up here, which unzips, and then you can be putting your bits and pieces in there. TV port. So you've got your TV point here, which you can put an aerial on the roof, and then you've got another 230 volt socket, and then you've got more storage in the front over the cabin area over here. So coming back this way, we've got a 2-burner gas hob. We've got a sink with hot and cold water, or cold and hot water, should I probably say. And obviously these pop down, so they cover up, so you've got this surface over here. 2 large cupboards here. So these 2 large cupboards, very, very caravan-like as far as I'm concerned, and they can be storing all your food, your tins, whatever it is. Perfect. And like when you're talking about the caravan type thing, that's where you have cupboards in a caravan above your cooking facilities, and that's where you put in all your foods and things such as that. I think that's absolutely perfect, and it is massive, which is brilliant. You've got switches here, so your switches for your getting rid of your fresh water and your wastewater. Obviously be careful where you press them switches. You don't want to be chucking water out in the middle of places where you shouldn't be putting it. You might notice people who have been familiar with the Swift Trekker of the past, this one doesn't have an oven or a grill because it is the Trekker S. So the Trekker S doesn't have that. The cooking facilities in this, as I said, is the 2-burner hob. So as far as campervans are concerned, that is generally what you have. Obviously, there are a few more now who are having the ovens and the grills. But personally, I think an air fryer is the ideal answer. So versatile. You can pop that into one of the sockets which you've got, and you can be cooking all the other bits and pieces. So you've got your drawers here, so cutlery drawer in that one with a cutlery tray. More storage, and then as far as the fridge is concerned, the fridge is this one. So 50-litre Dometic fridge, only opens one way. And when I talk about the bad, it's just so annoying that it doesn't open that way, because it's brilliant. When you're outside, you've got the Thule awning, which I forgot to mention when we're outside. You've got that Thule awning, it's come out over there, you've got your table and your chairs out. You just want to reach inside the fridge and get another drink. Yeah, it's not as easy with the double openers, which you get on a lot of camper vans. So yes, that is the first thing which I would change. And there are actually a few things which I would change, but that is just one of them. But coming further along, we've got this bathroom. And this is one of the things which I do like. So as far as the bathroom's concerned, you've got a tambour door, which means that you're not losing that space where it opens up. Now, some do say when it opens up that way, it gives you that bit of extra privacy. But I personally do like it when the tambour door, because you're not actually losing any space by it opening like that. But it's all down to opinions, isn't it? It's all down to different tastes, different preferences. People have different opinions and different tastes. That's just the opinion which I have. So we've got a shower in here, and obviously with it being the heating system, we've got the heating system so you can actually have a hot shower. You've got this sink, drop down sink. So again, I'm not going to actually flip the water, but you've got the drop down sink there so you can actually be washing your face, brushing your teeth, etc. And then your toilet roll is just down here, and it's got this cover over it, which means that your toilet roll doesn't get wet when you're having a shower. You've got the board there to make sure that you're off the floor, and that is perfect. And the toilet, Thetford toilet cassette is obviously outside, which we've just shown, and then that's the button there, and it shows you when you're full and it needs to be emptied out. So in here we've got some storage as well. So we've got this door here which opens up, and then you can be putting some bits and pieces in there, as well as a hook. On this side you've also got a hook here, and then you've also got a rail here as well, and then you've also got one outside, and you can pop that down so you can be putting your, I don't know, maybe your dry robe, your towel, or whatever you have on there. Lighting throughout, so you've got a strip light inside the shower, so you've got on there, and then out here you can see all the fantastic lighting which you've got. So we're back in this area here which we've been to. I'm going to talk about that a bit more when I go to bed later on, but we've got some speakers in here so you can be listening to all the sounds, which incidentally is on even though the engine is off. You can actually keep it actually on, so you can be listening to music, whatever you need to do whilst the engine is off and you're in camper mode. Let's have a look at the control panel so we can see what's going on here. So this is the control panel up here, all very straightforward to use. So you've got your lighting, and you can be turning things on and off. So that's your entry lighting. You've got dimmers here, which is saying it's 100%. You've got awning lighting here. Hop along, it's showing you the current state of the battery. It's got a solar panel on the roof of this one, which is a 200 watt solar panel. Its battery status is good, and it's currently showing that it's charging, and that'll be charging because we're actually on hookup as well. And I'll come on to that a little bit more later on. It shows you your water tanks, and it's showing at the moment that it's 0. We've got no water on here. That's because I'm not allowed to use it, but it is showing the temperatures. So internal temperature 16 degrees, humidity 64%, and the external temperature 14. A little bit chilly in Cornwall this week, a little bit warmer than that it was last week. And then over this side you've got your heating controls. So you've got your gas, and then you've also got electric. So if I want to turn the electric on, then I can do, and I can put the heating on, but I don't particularly want to do that. And then over here, you've got your carbon monoxide alarm, and you've got your smoke detector as well. So next bit is up in the pop top. So for that, I need to get the ladder. So I'll go and get the ladder. So up in the pop top, like I've said, I'm not going to be coming in here tonight because, yeah, we've been told kind of not to. But opening canvas, so you can open this up and have a good look outside. It's also got the fly nets as well. So if I can zip this one down, and then you can see you've got your fly net there. You've also got, in this van, you have a skylight. So this is a domestic skylight. So it's got the blinds on it, so that's to black out, and then you've got this one here, which is the fly screen to prevent the flies from coming in, and then it also opens up. You can press that and pop that up, pull that back down, exactly like the caravans, like I've mentioned before, well-known caravan manufacturer. You got fantastic lighting all the way around, really lights everything up. Got your safety net at the end of the pop top, lovely mattress, and then it's also sprung as well. So long-term viewers will know I do like a sprunged pop-top bed, and this has that. It's also got a light switch here. So the light switch, turn that on and off, and that's for all the lights around the outside. And then you've got USB-A and also USB power. And then these pockets here for storing whatever you want to store in there, I guess. And then you've got this clasp, which is to secure the pop top when the pop top has come back down. And you will see at the back of there, you can see a strip coming down the back, and then that's the cable for the solar panel. Like I've said, that this is fitted with a 200-watt solar panel on the roof, and then that is the cable to take it down to the control system. So let's go back down again. So that is just a brief overview of the van, and I'm going to go into a little bit more detail later on. I'll also show you the bed in action, because there's actually something down that side which I rather like. I'll talk a bit more about the electrical system and some of the things which I don't like about it. And I'm going to have a sleep in it, find out tomorrow, go for a drive and see what we're going to do. But for now, I need to get out, get some food. I want a pasty and some dessert. Let's go and have a look to see what's at the Royal Cornwall Show. So I've had a walk around the show, I've had my pasty, and now I need to have my cream tea. Fruit cream tea. I do prefer the fruit ones, definitely, to the plain ones. Some people have cheese on theirs. Cheese! Nah, not for me. Definitely for me, it's got to be fruit. And this one is strawberry jam. Bit of strawberry jam on here. Lovely. Bit of a dollop on that one. Okay.
Here, what are you bloody doing, Steve?
What?
You got the cream on the wrong way round.
I'm in Cornwall. I'm in Cornwall. Cornwall is jam first. I've committed a cardinal sin in Cornwall. Sorry for you Cornish if I've offended you, but I've just done cream first. Yes, for those not familiar with the tradition, people in Cornwall have jam first. And it is a bit of a strict rule, but here's me in the middle of Cornwall's biggest show doing cream first. Actually, not only have I done cream first, but I've not even put enough jam on it. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy this, and I'm going to get the bed set up, get ready, have a brew. Storm's picking up, so I'll get ready for bed, and then I shall see you in the morning. It's a little bit windy outside, yeah, so I'm definitely not going to be staying in the pop top. So I need to get this bed ready. So this bed is in the back of here, so obviously we're in day mode now, and I need to get the bed ready. So first of all, we have these supports. So these supports, which clip under there are magnets, pull out from underneath. There is one on each side, so pull this one out as well. And they're signposted, they've got the arrows on there. So basically, these slot in here and then attach, as you can feel, or you might have heard there, attached by magnets. This one goes on this side, and again, it's attached by magnets. Bed unclips from this side, unclips from this side, and it pops down there, and I'm now in the middle of a support. So go over it, and then this drops down. So, got a duvet mattress, sprung bed, and I've also got my new, yes, I'm excited to say, my new duvet. So yes, so I have been saying for a while that I do need a new duvet. My old one was quite old. So yes, I've got that there. I shall show you in a moment. But as far as this bed is concerned, so I'm obviously going to have to take this off because I don't want that on there. That's not going to be very good. Those are the springs, just to show how comfy it is going to be. But yeah, so this is the bed. So what we've got here is we've got the bedboard and this lovely light surrounding it. And it does look pretty cool, I think, that. USB-A, USB-C, and then you've got your light switch there. Turn it into night mode, and then that turns the light from around the bedboard. And then the back, just in case I didn't show you earlier, got another cupboard here, and that is a massive cupboard for lots more storage. On this side over here, got a window. So opening window there, providing some good ventilation. So again, it's kind of the caravan style, the safari type window. And then that one opens out there, which has got a blind. And I'm going to have to pull that down as I am the blinds at the back there. And also the blinds at the front. So at the front of the cab here, there's a blind that pulls up from the windscreen there. There's blinds that come up from the driver's door and also the passenger side as well. And then obviously blinds, and then blind as far as the skylight is concerned there. So yes, so this is going to be my bed for the evening. There is a ladder which I can pull out, and then a ladder obviously just attaches to there and then just allows you to get into bed rather easily. So let me get this prepared and then I will show you my new duvet. So there we go, duvet is on the duvet. So yes, so you've got this foam here, and I've opted for the 4cm foam because I don't need the bigger one because they're just ridiculously comfy as it is. And obviously the smaller the foam, the tighter it packs up. So that's the one which I've gone for. And then it's got the duvet over the top. So as you can see, it's a rather large duvet. So it pulls over quite nicely. Lots and lots of room to be keeping in there. So that's all attached. And it is the wine colour. Although it's not called wine, is it? It is called plum. But yeah, absolutely love it. This is the first time that I am going to be sleeping with it. So yes, so pleased about that. And then as you can see, I've put the ladder out. So now the ladder's out, I can easily climb up. And I can now get to the back. And I can pop each of these blinds down. So, or up, as the case is. And then I'm going to have a nice, peaceful night's sleep. Or am I? Yeah, it's really, really blustery outside. The weather is picking up. The rain does actually seem that it might have actually stopped at the moment, or certainly calmed down, which is good. But yeah, it is getting a lot worse, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't really know by the time this video goes out what will have actually happened, because there's actually talk that the weather is actually so bad that they might actually be cancelling the Saturday of the show. Yeah, so don't really know how long the show's going to be on, but I guess we'll find out in the morning. So yes, so I'm now going to prepare the rest of myself for bed, and then I shall see you in the morning. Hopefully not too early. Lots of animals around. Are any of them going to be waking me up? Nah, it's probably going to be the wind. Anyway, I shall see you in the morning. Well, survived the storm. It's just gone 6 in the morning. Did wake up a couple of times because it was actually really quite windy, which was quite interesting. So yeah, so I'm going to get up now. There's a few things which I would change about this van, and then once we've been for a bit of a drive, I'll explain exactly what they are. Anyway, it's time to get a coffee. A bit more awake now than a second ago, although it's still only, 7:15 in the morning. Going to grab us some breakfast in the morning, but I just thought I'd give you a bit of a chat about some of the things which I encountered last night. So as far as the lighting's concerned, I like the lighting in here. We've got the strip lights on the ceiling within the panel and the woodwork. The headboard light, which I mentioned to you yesterday, that is fantastic. You've got switches next to that, which controls some of the main lights in there. Now, I've had Swift products in the past. Caravans, yes, I've had Swift caravans in the past. And the lights, it's like there's just like tons of switches, and there's not like one switch where you can go, right, press that and everything goes off. There's light switches everywhere. But one of the things which got me, I mean, for instance, this one here, which was actually good in the night when you're wanting to get up, you just flick that light and it comes on. There's one down that end as well. But the bathroom light, it took me ages yesterday to actually find the bathroom light. I had no idea where it was. And it's actually underneath the mirror. And I don't think there's another switch for it, which really did puzzle me. And it doesn't go off with any of the other main lights or anything like that. So yeah, that is one of the things with the Swift products. There's just like light switches everywhere. So where you think you've hit the master light, you've not, because there's a separate switch for it. But lighting, all in all, there's tons of it. There's loads of it. Everything's going to be, you're going to be able to see everything quite clearly. Now, it's still a little bit miserable outside and very, very windy. And the wind is actually picking up, I believe. So, yeah, we'll see how the day goes. But, yeah, the lighting in here, it's good. But, oh, my word, the switches. It's like when you go to a hotel and you've got all these different variation of lights. And you're like running around the room trying to figure out which button does what. But yeah, all in all, I did like it. One thing else which I didn't mention, which I really do like, is the fly screen. So it's got a fly screen on the main sliding door, which you pull across. And then obviously allows air to pass, but not flies and insects. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, I think it's time to have a shower and then see where the rest of the day goes before I get on the road and talk to you about its driving capabilities. And these seats are comfy. Nice twin armrests. I do like a captain seat with twin armrests, even if this one's just gone down a bit. Anyway, just see you in a bit. Well, I had not only had my shower and my coffee and everything else, but I've also skipped forward as well because the show got cancelled. A message came through not long after I did that last little bit of a snippet of the video to say that the show was effectively too dangerous to carry on because it was rather windy and there was quite a lot of damage that had been done. So now you find me, I have driven the vehicle and I brought it to its next destination. I'm now at the West Point show, but I'm not actually going to be doing a video yet because the show hasn't even started. I've just brought the vehicle here. So there's a few things which I did actually say in the first part of the video that there was a couple of surprises. So I'm going to talk about them now. I'm going to talk about the overall driving experience and what I don't actually like about this vehicle and also what I do. So first of all, as far as the driving is concerned, well, this particular one is the 6-speed manual, like I've mentioned. And as far as power was concerned, it's absolutely fine. You know, the vehicle is a big vehicle. Come back to that in a moment. But it pulls really well going up the A30, because I've gone from Cornwall to Devon, up and down all those hills on the A30. I'm sure you know it. No issues whatsoever at all. Never felt, actually, it does need some more power. Not at one point at all. Really smooth, and that's one of the things that did actually surprise me, the way it actually feels when it drives. I mean, it shouldn't really surprise me because it is based on the Ford Transit. So as far as that was concerned, no problems at all. It's got this nice large screen here, which I had my Apple CarPlay on, so I was able to see maps and see everything else which I needed to do. You've got the nice big display in front, digital display, and then it's just a Ford Transit. It drives well. And that was one of the surprises. And the second surprise is the fact that we talk about the size of the vehicle and it being a large camper van, and that's why I'm thinking, well, maybe it surprised me that it drove so well. But this vehicle is 5.53 meters long. Now, people say that it's a big vehicle, it's a big camper van, and people also say that the VW California Ocean, the new one, that is a really small camper van, it isn't big enough. But did you know that there's only a 36 centimetre difference between this and the actual VW California Ocean? Surprising, isn't it? And also that California Ocean is only 17 centimetres narrower, which, as people say it's a small vehicle, and people think that this is the big vehicle, then the footprint is not too dissimilar. When I say footprint, obviously, as far as the height's concerned, there is a big difference there, with the California being just less than 2 meters and this being just less than 3 meters. But what I'm trying to get at here is, although this is a big camper van and it's got a lot more space than, you know, your smaller camper vans, your transits and your transporters and things like that, there's more room, there's more places to store things, there's more places to put appliances, better components and things like that. The actual footprint of it is not as frightening as you might think it is. Now, as far as the size is concerned, I've just said it's not as big as you might think, but internally, and the things you can put here, it is. And that is one of the big benefits of it. The fact that it's a small camper van, but at the same time, it's actually quite large, which is really good. These seats are really comfortable. You know, captain's chairs, and they are good. The decals on them are fantastic. The seats, the graphics, the stitching, you know, it's all really nice stuff. I like the Dinette, and I also like the fact that you can have it in day mode and then also night mode. You know, I've been driving all sorts of things over the years, caravans, motorhomes, the kind of whole lot. And one of the frustrating things sometimes can be, oh no, I've got to make the bed up now, when you just want to go to bed. And this, you've got the additional space, but then you've not got that concern that, I mean, it's not really concern, is it? But you've not got that, oh no, I've got to set the bed up now. Because basically you just undo 2 clips and it falls down. You pull the sheet over and kind of off you go. So actually setting up the bed is really, really quite simple. But it gives that area at the back of the van to be able to actually store things in that central area. So, you know, who's this actually for? You know, maybe individuals, maybe couples, maybe small families. But if it is just couples or individuals, then you can be sleeping in the pop-top if it's not 50-mile-an-hour winds. And then you can be storing your bigger items inside, like your bikes or your kayaks or whatever it may be. So you're not having to store them outside and potentially, you know, risk the security of them, or putting them in an awning. You can actually keep them inside the van because you've got that larger area at the rear. So it's kind of like having a garage in a motorhome, but not quite. But it does give you that more area. So I do really like the fact of that bed, and it is sprung and it's really comfortable, as is the pop-top bed as well. The skylight in the pop-top, that's another really nice feature as well. I do like that. And it's just a good looking van. And for the price of it, like I've said, $66,995. It is a well-priced vehicle. You know, there are things about the van that I don't like. Now, I touched on a couple of them yesterday, like that fridge. The fact that it only opens one way. It's not the end of the world, but it being able to open from the outside as well. And it was even mentioned whilst I was at the show by other people that it didn't open. So it isn't just me that thinks it. Yeah, so having that opening both ways would be good. And also the size of it. Now, above that fridge, there's a gap, which is, I don't know, about that much. And it's not really doing anything. If you put anything there, it's just going to slide off. It's got the extension for the kind of the work surface, which swings out. But that only takes up that much, which still leaves that big gap. So why couldn't it be higher so you could actually house a bigger fridge? there's also a big gap at the bottom. You know, so even the fridge height, you know, could be made a little bit bigger. Even the unit, I mean, it's a massive gap between the top of the hob and the unit above. That's over the requirement of 500 millimeters. So it could probably even house something bigger than that. Yeah, so I would definitely have a bigger fridge and also have it opening both ways, which I think they do on some of the other Trekker models. The other thing is very, very plasticky, but that's because it kind of comes from caravan, kind of the motorhome. So everything in it is built, which you would find on the caravans. You know, the panels, the actual units and things, they're all essentially something which you'd see in one of the Swift caravans as well. And it's not comparable to what you see in a lot of other motorhome, a lot of other camper vans. So when you are comparing, well, this one's 66,995 or 72,995 new, and then you're comparing it to, you know, say one of the Mercedes or one of the Crafters which I've had on the channel recently, which might be in excess of £100,000. You're not comparing the scratchy plastics. You're comparing it to something which is, the materials are different. They've been made out of more premium materials. It's not a budget van, so to speak, but you can see that there's different finishes. But one of the bigger things for me is, and when I say bigger, it's really, really easy to solve. Two aspects, actually. One of them is it's only got an AGM battery. Now, we're in 2026, and yes, this is a 2025 model, but it's got an AGM battery. Lithium batteries are really becoming more of the standard now, more of the norm. More vans are coming with them as standard. And the price difference now of lithium has dropped right down. So because you've got the more usable capacity of a lithium battery, they last longer, they can go through more charge cycles, I'd definitely be looking to be having a lithium battery on it. And also the 230, 240 volts which it's got plenty of sockets throughout, you can only use that on hookup. So if I wanted to use my hairdryer to dry my hair, yes, I have started doing that, or I wanted to be using an air fryer or a toaster or any other appliance which is 230 volts, charging my e-bike or something, I can only do that when I'm on hookup, which when you're talking about kind of a transporter size van, you don't always have those inverters. But when a bigger van like this, you generally have the inverters to be able to have that bigger power whilst you're off the grid, and this doesn't as standard. I mean, it's all things which you could add. But that's kind of one of those things which I'm talking about looking at the components when I'm talking about these vans. Because I've often heard, look at that van, it's £70,000. It's comparable to the Transporter, which is £70,000. Or actually, look how cheap that is compared to the Crafter, which is £100,000. But what about the specs? What about the detail within it? You know, you are looking at all the componentry. Does it have the inverter? Can it be going off-grid? You know, if you are talking about off-grid as well, you know, how long realistically are you going to be able to go off-grid if you be putting perishable items in that fridge? It's not a massive fridge, but there's units you can store packet foods or tins and things like that. You've got plenty of space. You know, water tanks on this, was it 65 litre for fresh and then 55 for waste? Well, you might be comparing that to another van which might have a lot more. You know, it is looking at the detail when you're talking about these things. Is this van for you? I really like it, like really, really do like it. If it was mine, I'd definitely go for an automatic rather than a manual. And there are a few things on which I would change, like I'd be having a lithium battery. I would have an inverter. I'd put some opening windows in the rear. It's just nice that you've got those back doors and you can just open that window and look at the sea and breathe in that fresh air and things like that. And yeah, there's minor things which I would change, but all in all, I genuinely, you know, really do like this vehicle. And especially at that price point as well. It's a really good price point. It's 66,995. Obviously this isn't going to hang around for long, so that's kind of irrelevant, but for the Swift Trekker, being from just over £70,000 it is, I think, for the entry level model, you know, it is a really good van. Now, I'm not paid to do any of these reviews. I don't get any money from any converters or any manufacturers or anybody like that at all. These reviews are my opinion, they are my views, and they are completely free to you. But what I have actually started to do now, I've just set up a link, buy me a coffee. So if you do appreciate what I do, if I've ever helped you in any way, if I've ever made anything easier for you or given you any information which you believe has been beneficial to you, you can buy me a coffee if you want. If you don't, doesn't really matter. The videos are always going to be free anyway. I'm not going to be charging to do any videos, but if you did want to show your support, if you did want to buy me a coffee, I shall pop a link in the description, and I really do appreciate it. And even if you don't, I really do appreciate everybody taking the time out of the day, watching my videos. It does mean a lot. It is just a hobby to me, something which I really enjoy doing, and I love seeing lots of these different vans, and there's going to be lots more vans coming very soon. So what do you think of this van? Is it for you? What other vans would you like to see? Do let me know in the comments. And also, how do you have your cream tea? Did I offend any of you by eating it the wrong way? Some people get really uptight about that. Anyway, thanks for watching, take care, and I hope to see you soon.